Hey everybody, it's Mike from InflatableBoarder.com, and I'm here at home today getting ready for a 3-day paddleboard camping trip. So I thought I'd take you through what I have packed, how I have it packed, and why I made those choices. I know this looks a little bit messy right now, but imagine this is gonna be spread out on a 12.5-foot paddleboard, so it'll be a little bit easier to manage at that point. First of all, I've got my PFD. And so for this trip, I'm choosing to bring my Astral Sturgeon PFD. It's a fishing PFD, but what I like about this is it's lightweight, it's got a bit of mesh in the back, so it's a little bit more breathable, and it has a large pocket in the front. I do like to keep things like my phone up with me, just makes it easy to take pictures. A couple other basic things here. I've got a couple of just Nalgene water bottles. I'll also have a hydration bladder, so I'll be carrying about 3.5 liters of water. And I've got a 3-piece paddle that I'll be bringing as a spare. So this is the Hydros paddle. I've got this one, it breaks down nice, it's lightweight, it's stiff. I do like using it quite a bit. And then I have a 1-piece paddle that I'll actually be doing most of my paddling with. So this is just an extra just in case paddle. And this will stay up on the nose of the board, kind of tucked underneath this dry bag here. All right, so if we start in the front, I've got this nice triangular shaped dry bag. And this has all of my clothes in it. So this is a dry bag from Watershed. This is called the Fuda dry bag. So in here I've got my clothes and my cook kit. So I'll start with that. This is just a basic backpacking stove cook kit. So I have the stove in here along with my spoon. I'm not gonna take it totally out of the bag. We've got the stove in here with the windscreen and everything, and my spoon, spork, I guess. Get all that tucked back in. And then this is my cook pot and mug. So this has a neoprene cover that I take off to cook with. And then inside this lid here, I've got some hand sanitizer, a lighter, a pot holder, and fuel for my stove. Right on top, I like to have 2 things. So easily accessible is a towel. So in case I take a spill, I need to dry off. I got the towel right there on top. And I have a rain shell. So this is actually a jacket. It just packs down really small. It's a Patagonia Houdini wind jacket. And that just kind of helps block the air, keeps me warm. It's not super waterproof, but we're not expecting any rain on this trip at all. And then inside that, I've got all of my clothing. And rather than taking this all out, because I don't think you really care to see necessarily all of my socks and underwear and everything, but I'll tell you what I have in here is a set of clothes to wear at the campsite. And that includes clothes to sleep in, okay? And then I have 2 sets of paddling clothes. And that's really about it. So it is gonna be a little bit chilly at night into the low to mid 40s. So I am bringing some kind of warm layers to camp in, but my paddling clothes are gonna be pretty basic. I do have a pair of NRS Hydroskin neoprene pants in case my legs do get cold while paddling, but I'm not anticipating needing those. This is kind of my catch-all bag. This is the one that will be closest to me. It'll be in front of me within an easy arm's reach. And in here I have a variety of different things, but primarily it's safety equipment and some electronics and things like that. Very top, I have a throw bag. This is a river trip, it's not a lake trip, so we do have current. It's not a whitewater trip. I'm not anticipating needing to use this as a rescue device at all. The most important thing I'm gonna be using it for is tying my board up. So where we are paddling, it's the Black Canyon of the Colorado River. It's dam released, and in the afternoon we have these big pushes of water. So when we're off the water, we need to make sure our board is tied up so it doesn't get swept away in case that water does rise up to that level. Okay, with that, I've also got my first aid kit. This is a fairly basic first aid kit. I've added some things, subtracted some things over the years. This is what I take with me paddling and camping. Water filtration. This is the Sawyer Squeeze. So there's a little filter is actually this part here, connected to the bag full of dirty water, squeeze it through, and I get clean water that I can put into my water bottles. I've got my Garmin InReach. So this is a personal locator beacon SOS device. So this uses satellite communication instead of cell phones. So it should work even when I'm in those deep canyons. All right, a couple other little safety things here. Again, this is just more anchoring equipment and a few carabiners. And then headlamp. and some hand warmers. So these are great. Again, it's gonna be chilly. If we do have a situation where someone's wet and cold or just cold in general, we can use those hand warmers. Great little way to generate some heat. And then we also have camera gear. So I'm bringing a small tripod with me. My Insta360 action camera, a little mount for my phone, and a battery. And you'll notice I put the safety equipment on top. That's so I don't have to dig to find that in case I do need it in an emergency. So in here, I've got the bulk of my camping gear. I've got my food. This is all pretty tight, so. My sleep system, so here's my sleeping pad. My sleeping bag, and it's caught, oh, there we go, on my pillow. I've got a hand pump. This is from K-Pump. This is the K-Pump Mini. It's a small hand pump that you can use to inflate your paddleboard. It doesn't give a pressure readout or anything, but I also have this pressure cap from Tributary. It's solar powered, that once I put that on the board, it will tell me the pressure. So all in all, it makes a much smaller kit than a regular hand pump, but it does take a lot longer to inflate your board and a lot more effort to get it up to pressure, but I'm not anticipating needing to do that frequently. So I go for the smaller, lighter size. Now, another thing that is going to go in here I don't have with me right now, I just realized, because it's in the board bag, is the repair kit. So most of your inflatable SUPs come with a small, usually orange plastic container that has some PVC patches and some glue. That's going to come with me as well in case I do have a patch I need to make. All right, the last couple things in here, I have my tent and another pad. I like to sleep comfortably. My inflatable mattress is not the most cushioned, so this little bit of foam padding here is just enough to cover my torso and hips, and it makes it a little bit more comfortable to sleep. So putting all that back in is a little bit of a game of Tetris. Okay, altogether not too bad. And once again, zips up and closed. All right, so the next thing you're gonna see here is this big teal thing here that's also inflatable. This is actually a chair. This is the kayak seat from the boat Rackham. And I'm bringing this just a purely comfort item. It inflates to a nice comfortable size. It's got a nice shape to it. And you know, it's a little heavy, but it's just gonna sit underneath the bag, and I think it's gonna be really worthwhile on this camping trip, sitting around the campfire. Now, speaking of campfire, in this little dry bag, I have a fire log. Now, where we're actually going, there are established campsites that do have fire pits, so always make sure to check the regulations where you're going if there's any fire closures or anything like that. But this is a 3-hour burning fire log. It means I can just put this in the fire pit, light the wrapper, and it'll go for about 3 hours. I don't have to carry a whole bunch of extra firewood. Also in this bag is the loo. So they are established campsites, but they don't have toilets. So when we're camping in nature, we need to make sure that we are taking care of all of our waste, not just our trash. So in here, I've got a trowel, a little bit of TP, some hand sanitizer, and then these. So these are what I refer to as WAG bags, but they are a go anywhere toilet kit. So you open this up, in here there's a bag, there's also hand sanitizer and toilet paper, and in the bag is a powdery material that actually helps solidify and make that waste something that you can transport. And so these are great for this kind of thing because we do have to pack everything out with us. And that's what this is for. So this PVC tube here, PVC tube, it's got a cap on one end and a cap with a lid on the other. And this is where the used WAG bags will go when they're done. Shove them down in here, close it up. That's watertight and you don't have to worry about them breaking. If they do break, it's all contained, but because it's a piece of PVC, it's nice and solid, and this just straps to the back of the board. So that's everything that I'm gonna be bringing with me on this 3-day camping trip. It does seem like a lot, and it is a lot, actually. Part of that is because the way that this camping trip was arranged, we all planned individually. My recommendation is to plan with your group, so that way you can share things like tents. Not everyone needs to bring a stove. You can plan your meals together. A lot of backpacking meals come with 2 servings in a bag, so you can reduce a lot of size and waste there as well. And it just makes it a little bit easier and a little bit more of a group activity as well. That's everything I'm bringing with me for the camping trip, and I'll report back soon with how it went. Thanks for watching, have fun, and paddle safe.